Everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Keith Leon Radio Show. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. John Lopez, Silverado man. All right, Grupo Silverado, with us today. We had some technical issues a little early on, but we managed to get through all that stuff like that. And he's here. He's live. We're going to carry on with this live interview here. John, welcome to the show for the very first time, my brother.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. It's that, again, some people always get messages. I was going, hey, where's he at? And this and that, what's going on? But he's here, he's live. And if you guys are going to be watching this, share this video, please. And, share it throughout your social media pages and whatnot. We're talking with Mr. John Lopez from Silverado. Okay. So, John, before we get started here, let's talk about you. You know what I mean? How long have you been in the music business? I know it's been some time, huh?
It's been a while, man. I started back in my early 20s, man, when I was like 21. Mm-hmm. My cousins and I had a little group together. We were called La Lumbre at that time. And we did all kinds of, crazy shit. We had a big gig that we did at the Sam Houston Coliseum. And I think I was like, I'd say 21, 22, something like that. La Sombra, Ram, Pio Trevino, Laura Canales.
The works.
It was a taste of the big time. It was cool. La Sombra. But I started with my cousins, Richard, Joe Lewis, Johnny, my cousin Paul, and we went on from there. That we stayed together for a little while. We broke up and get back together, and we break up and we'd get back together. We'd add different musicians. Hell, I've been through a million musicians.
And have you always been just you? When you got started with just your group, or have you ever performed with anyone else before you started your own thing?
I have been with some other bands, local bands. The only thing with the local bands, the bad thing for me was, I like a certain style. I love country especially, but I would get together with bands, and I would have to conform to what they wanted to play, and we'd kind of bump heads, and it's not in a bad way, but we just had a different style. Yeah. And so it would bug me. I was like, man, that's not what I want to sing. I want to sing what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
And so great musicians, great bands. But it was just never. I didn't ever just call the shots. The way I wanted to. Right. That's one thing about family, man. You bump heads with family, and that's
oh yeah.
You get a lot of arguing, a lot of you're not the leader, and I'm not the leader. It's crazy. But I love my cousins. They're the ones that give me my start. As a matter of fact, we even had a band. La Lumbre, and we had Joe and Rudy from La Fiebre that actually started with us. Joe's the bass player, Rudy's the guitar player, and so they started playing with us before they ever had Fiebre together, and they just wanted to go a different route, and they even asked me if I wanted to come sing with them. I said, "Nah, I'm gonna stick with my cousins, man." I had no idea they were gonna get a band like that together. They moved on and had great success, but. Yeah, I mean, it just the thing is with me, like I said, I remember seeing my sister Gloria took me to a concert back in the 80s, man. I went to go see David Lee and La Mafia, Pio Trevino, and man, I was starstruck by Emilio. I was singing with David Lee at that time. And I'd seen him, the way he sang, of course, all the girls were all over him and shit. I said, shit, I want to do that shit.
Right.
I want to do that thing. But I've always loved that style, the accordion, the sax, keyboards. I love that style. And, of course, my music, you'll notice that it's influenced by that. But country, I love singing country, too. And I never really put that much into it at first, country. But once I got into it and started singing pretty decent at it, I was like, I'm doing country pretty decent. We're gonna play. So we do play a lot of country in our shows.
Right. Okay.
And we get a great response. We do a lot of copies, but we have songs of our own. Sometimes I'm a little tentative to play my music sometimes because I feel like people don't really recognize it. They really recognize the songs that we do play.
Right. Yes. Some of the cover songs, like you said, definitely.
And that's just basically to get the people motivated, get them out there. And once we got them out there, then we pop some raw material. it's usually received pretty well. The shows that we've done lately, we play our originals in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting a good response, man. Abrazo Mi Mujer, once I released it, man, it's done well. It's not a major hit right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a good song. That song, I remember telling my wife, "Baby, I'm gonna write you a song." She was like, "What?" And so when I told her that I had written it, she had that look at me. I didn't believe you. So I sung it to her one night, and she just had that look like it don't sound good, she didn't hear it, with the music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm singing it kind of half-assed, to her. And but once we got it in there, she goes, "Hey, it's not too bad. It's not too bad." But and I've written. We did a CD in '92 actually with Freddie. I was with Freddie Records at that time, and
Mm-hmm.
the name of the CD was "Go for Your Guns." Um, didn't have that much success with it. It was an unfortunate deal. But I should have to have the songs on the CD were mine that I'd written. So I'm re-recording those, and I'm gonna put
Okay.
them on the way that we're gonna bring out. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get this damn thing done. So we've been messing with it, and no, not that song. And maybe this song, and it's hard to.
Oh yeah, I
What's
bet.
good to you is not necessarily what seems good to somebody else. So
Yeah.
other set of ears, and everything they hear it, and sometimes it's you think it's going to be a major hit, and it doesn't turn out to be like that, and it might be the one that you don't even think is going to be a hit.
True. Yeah, and it's happened like that many times. Yeah.
So, but we're working on material. We've been trying to concentrate on trying to get that together. We have some shows coming up in June, a couple in August, and some in September.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a whole bunch of shows booked. I'm not going to, I see some people get on, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm real busy." And then, you feel that. So, we got some shows coming up.
Cool.
I got a quinceañera that we're doing in June, and then we're going to play the boardwalk, King's Boardwalk,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
June 25th with Stevie D and the All Stars. So we're looking forward to that. And the guys in the band, luckily that I've got guys that stick with me.
Mm-hmm.
My right-hand guy is Frank Rodriguez on the guitar, Hector Pettis on the bass, Johnny Silva on the sax,
Mm-hmm.
Juan Ortiz, he plays the accordion and the keyboards. He's a talented guy. He plays guitar, bass, drums, a little bit of everything. And then my drummer, Javier Trigo.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, those guys have stuck with me. Because you get guys all the time that if you're not extremely busy,
Yeah.
they don't move on to another band. Like they want to play all the time,
Yeah.
which is understandable. Hell, I want to play all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily I've had those guys stick with me. So that's the thing that I try to do, and they put up with me because I'm a perfectionist and I want everything just right. When we play a copy, I want it just like the copy. I want people to say, "Well, they tried to do it."
Right. Yeah.
I try my best. It doesn't always necessarily sound like that. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, like I said, the shows that we've had lately, we've had nothing but a great response, man. People are throwing gritos and going crazy, and they'll come up to us after the show. "Y'all were awesome. Y'all were great." So, of course, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I've been fortunate, man, that I've had these guys stick with me, and I feel like they believe, in us and
Mm-hmm.
myself. If they didn't, they've got plenty of options.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that I've been lucky to be able to keep those guys with me, man.
That is awesome. Because there's not too many groups out there that actually are saying what you say right now, what you just said. You know what I mean? They
We got guys that'll play with so many different bands, which is
Mhm.
great because you know what? If you got that talent and you want to go out there and make some money and everything, hey, more power to you. And I
More
even tell
power.
them, I don't mind you helping other bands. Just remember my shit comes first.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every
Yep.
day you
Right.
cancel that other one.
Yep. Straight up,
And-
blunt.
and, yeah, they've been good that way, and I don't mind them. I'm not a tyrant. I don't mind them going out there and getting some stuff. Hell, they want to play, and if I'm not busy, that. But and that's mainly what I'm doing right now. My hope was that by releasing this song, that we would spark some interest in
Mm-hmm.
the promoters and maybe playing out of town. But I wouldn't say we're burnt out in Houston, but it's just like we don't get the big crowds that you would expect.
Mhm.
When we play here in Houston.
Right.
But we get a decent crowd, and luckily, excuse me.
Mhm.
Luckily, Isaac, de la Cerda,
Uh-huh.
Year's Entertainment. He's given me some shots at opening for the big bands. Uh,
Yes.
Cesar Chavez from Squeeze Box Promotions. I mean, he's booked me, and I'm lucky those guys have taken an interest. So they've taken
Hmm.
an interest. They've helped me along as much as they can. But my hope is to be able to get out and play out of town. Show that hey,
Right.
we've got a good sound. We've got a good band. We've got a good show, and we're hungry to get out there and show that hey, man, we got a little talent here, man, and
Hmm.
we the best of. I've heard some bands, not
Yeah.
they sound
Yeah.
I've heard some bands that maybe don't sound all that great, but they're
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely out there.
they're booked. They're booked. They might not be the greatest, but god dang, they're playing all the time,
Hmm.
which is awesome. And that's our
Yeah.
goal. Our goal is to get out there and hopefully get the attention that I feel we deserve. Because
Exactly.
we're a good band, and the thing is, you hear so many bands nowadays, bajo sesto and accordion, and
Hmm.
people love it. My deal is, I'm not big time into conjunto. I like it. I just don't like it all night. And so I
True.
try to be a little more, a more of a variety. I mean,
Mm, okay.
I play conjunto and I play accordion music, but we're sax, accordion, keyboard based.
Hmm.
And like I said, man, we try to mix it up a little bit. We got good cumbias. We play up to date country, old country. But we get a real good response with our country music. Hell, I've even told the guys, I said, man, if we don't make it with Tejano, we'll go country. I said, man, we sound like a country band. We don't sound like like some Mexicans trying to play country.
Right. Right.
We sound like an actual country band.
Yeah.
And so that's to me, I feel like that's kind of not an advantage, but I think it's a good thing for us because like I said, we're able to play a little bit of a variety as opposed to listening to the same type of sound all night. And that's one thing that kind of gets me a little bit about a conjunto. It's the same thing, pretty much all night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we try to mix it up a little bit, and that's my deal. I grew up in the '80s, '90s era when Tejano was just hitting so bad. I mean, it was
Hmm.
hitting.
Right.
If I didn't have a gig, I was at Huffaloos, I was at the Island Club, I was at El Dorado Ranch. Eddie, and I was up there tearing it up on the dance floor, man. If I didn't have a gig, I was out there partying, having a good time, man. But that
Always.
was oh man, shoot, man. Of course, some of the people listening, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Yeah. But yeah, man. But it really, like I said, the whole deal for me is just to get out there and a friend. I remember a friend of ours. We were talking a few years back. Is man, what the hell's gonna make a comeback? Because it's kind of dead right now. And I would always hear, no, but the hell's dead. The hell's dead. It's just like this, it's going to die out. And that's
Right.
pretty much what I was thinking too. Uh, and I would get together with guys and we jam a little bit, and then I'd leave it alone, and then I'd get back into it for a little, and then I'd leave it
Hmm.
alone. And I said, you know what, man, this time my guitar player called me. He said, hey man, I'm retiring, man. I'm gonna have a lot of free time, man. Why don't we try to get a guys together? Well, luckily he knew a few guys, I knew a few guys. We got it together, and it's kind of been history since then, man.
It's history. So.
And it's funny because I just figured, no, man, I ain't gonna do shit.
Okay.
I'm burnt out,
Hmm.
But in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, that we can just get a good band together. Who knows? Maybe we can have another look at it, just to get out there and have fun more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, the recognition, and be able to get out there and get recognized. I think every musician wants that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want that,
Hmm.
But it's a good time. I enjoy it. Going out there, the camaraderie of having all the guys around, their wives, their relatives come, my sisters, my family, they all come. So it's a good time, and I
Yeah.
still have the day that it becomes not fun anymore, but that's another story.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way I look at it too, as well. On my end, when you come to that, when you cross that bridge, it's like it's time to walk away. And don't get me wrong, it's been a thought in my mind for several months now. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just me or what, but it's crossed my mind. But I think that that's another question I was going to ask you on the industry itself. What are your thoughts on what's happening right now?
Uh,
You
you
know?
know, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, we played fanfare, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of. I don't think there was as many people as the last time I played fanfare. The last time I played fanfare was probably 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was super packed.
Yeah.
This year it was packed, but the weather may have been have something to do with it. It was kind of cold. The
Yes.
stage that was underneath the bridge and the stage that's right there by the shopping center right there, the
Mm-hmm.
little market, those were always packed. The stages towards the back, not necessarily. We pay the
Right.
ones there in the back. Um, the deal is, man, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just a matter of who you know, not necessarily what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I feel that personally. Because like I
Yes.
said, uh, I feel like sometimes we just don't get the break that I feel we deserve.
Yeah.
That's just me the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the onda, my thought is, what in the world's going to happen when David Lee goes, when Ram goes, when Jay goes? Uh,
Right.
when
Exactly.
these guys ain't around anymore, just like Selena and Amelia, when they're not around anymore, how? Because to me, that's Tejano.
Mm-hmm.
The Signo and all these other guys that do the conjunto style. To me, that's not Tejano. I mean, it's
Right.
great music. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying they're not good. They're awesome, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just not the Tejano sound that I grew
Yeah.
up listening to.
Exactly.
Mas, when Joe's not around anymore, there's not gonna be another Mas. Bobby.
Definitely not.
So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm just going to try to take advantage of it while I can, while
Where
I'm
you
still
can.
here. And if people will listen to me, then great. So until they just finally tell me to shut up and
All right. Sit your ass down, and that's it. Right.
until they tell me like that, But like I said, man, I do have some friends too. Who, man, you still like that shit? You still doing that?
Oh yeah, I come across that quite a bit as well. You know what
It
I mean?
still is, man. Unless you're a musician, you can't really understand. Music and the adrenaline rush. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
drug. If you miss it, I have friends, relatives. I mean, that I'm always bugging one relative in particular because you coordinate. Well, when the hell you gonna get back in this shit? When you gonna get back? Yeah. Well, so I'm not gonna beg them, but I'm
Yeah.
begging you. You know,
You're right.
but, no, hombre, it's kind of hard to say, man. As far as the future of the industry, who knows, man? When the top dogs ain't there no more, I can't really see that the younger generation is really into Tejano that much. They're into the norteño style,
Yes.
uh, norteños, and like I said, all the music's great, bro. Music is badass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not necessarily what I grew up with, man. So I try
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
reflect what I grew up with. I can remember going to this little place in South Houston. I'm from South Houston. I grew up in South Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember going to a place called the Shack, Salon Morelos,
Mm-hmm.
right down the street from us. And I lived like 2 blocks away from that place. And man, we were there. My dad was part of that social club, and we'd go over there and my sisters taught me how to dance, and so shit, I was on that dance floor all the time, man, partying, having a good time. So my cousins and I, we'd go outside, we'd throw the football around, we'd kill each other, wrestling and shit, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'd go inside and I'd do some dancing, and then we'd go by the steps where the stage was, and we'd sit there and watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we grew up listening to that.
That's
And it
it.
was so
Yep.
funny that when they called me, I told you we started when we were in our 20s. They called me up and they said, "Hey, John, you want to sing?" What? What do you mean sing? We put a little band together. I said, no shit. Yeah, let me check it out. So I went over there with him. I used to sing, like I said, David Lee especially. I used to mimic Emilio. And I could mimic his voice decently. And
Mm-hmm.
but I was terrible when I was singing with my cousins, man. I remember relatives. They didn't think I knew, but they were telling me, "You can get rid of John Lopez, man. You can get rid of that boy." And it was just so hard to sing in front of people. I could sing, but it was just hard getting in front of people to sing.
Yeah,
And
I believe it.
once I got out of my shell, and like, man, we created a monster, man. Like,
Right.
yeah, like, but
Ain't no
so
stopping you now. You know.
yeah, y'all messed up. But it's like I said, man. It's an adrenaline rush, man, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of them things. It's like a drug. It's hard to leave it alone. But you know what? I'm sure there's going to be a time, and I even I've had like a chronic hoarseness, that I've dealt with. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
never actually 100%
100%. Yeah.
at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
I can still sing, but it's just like the older I'm getting, it's like it's not quite the same. It's not as easy.
Mm-hmm.
So try to sing in lower keys now, and I'll pick songs that I know I can sing comfortably, as opposed to when I was with some bands, but we know this is real good. Yeah, but I can't sing it in that key. I can't sing it like that. And if I sound terrible, then we're all going to sound terrible. So that's kind of what would kind of messed up, because we clash. We would bump heads about that. So, and that's what really drove me to try to get my own band together. And like I said, luckily I've been able to hold on to these guys, and we put a real good band together, man. We've got some awesome musicians, and we've been fortunate that we play. There's not a style of music that we can't play, but I'm kind of stuck in that style. Like it's me more than anything. I love that David Lee style, man. Moss, Ram. I can mimic Ram's voice. I've been on stage with Ram a few times, and it's so funny. I got up to sing with him at Hullablues one night, and I did a cantina, and it was, the people were shocked, man. They just had this look in the street like, where
the hell?
Where did this boy come from? And Ram had that. I was watching him out of the corner of my eye. He had that little fan. Where did he come from, man? He just wanted to sing, But so afterwards, I spoke to him, and he gave me a nice compliment. He said, "Hey, you got a great voice," So to hear something like that, Jimmy Gonzalez gave me a great compliment. Emilio gave me a real nice compliment. So it was awesome, to hear that, from guys that I respect, their talent, and I respect
right.
They're up there, to hear it from people like that, it's awesome. So I'm just going to keep on doing what I can do. Hopefully, like I said, we're working on the CD, and hopefully we'll get a hit out of it. I can honestly say we ain't never really had a solid hit. We've had songs being played, but to say that it made it big time and put me on the map and stuff like that, not yet.
Not yet.
If you have any songs out there, songwriters, and you would like to send them to me, my email. I actually like to do my email. I had so many problems. My email.
We got about 30 of them.
Yeah, 9764@yahoo.com. Send me your songs. If you got some decent songs, I'd like to listen to them. And, hopefully I'll be able to come up with something good, man.
Awesome. Outstanding. Well, we want to play the song for everyone that's tuned in right now. If you're watching, again, guys, share the video, share this broadcast right now. It's the Keith Leal Radio Show live, and we are streaming it live as well on YouTube. Again, John Lopez, Grupo Silverado, is with us today, and, taking the time to join us here to share his music and, a lot about what's going on with the band and him and all that these days. And we want to share that music. We're gonna play Abrázame Mujer, which is what he mentioned to earlier, which is his latest single, and you can hear that as well on Houston's TejanoHits.com. Request it as well. We've got it here. We're going to play that for everybody out there that's tuned in. So as soon as we get this song on here, we'll be right back here in just a few with some more as the John Lopez. So you guys stay tuned, stay close, share the video.
El vacío que sentí en mi corazón, mi cariño solo es tuyo y nunca imaginé que tú ibas a ser mi mujer. Yo sé que otros hombres siempre han tratado de llamarte la atención, pero nunca te dejabas cuando supe yo que tú eras para mí. Ven, abrázame, mujer, dame un beso con ternura. Quiero saber el sabor de tus labios y tu piel y tu cuerpo encadenado junto a mí. Tan bonita eres tú, de llamarte la atención, pero nunca te dejabas cuando supe yo que tú eras para mí. Ven, abrázame, mujer, dame un beso con ternura. Quiero saber el sabor de tus labios y tu piel y tu cuerpo encadenado junto a mí. Tan bonita eres tú, nunca te dejaré de amar. Un regalo eres tú, y Diosito me mandó, linda mujer, mi vida.
There you have it. Abrázame Mujer right there. Awesome song. Great. You can hear it on HoustonTejanoHits.com. Requested, guys, today. It's the John Lopez and Silverado. So, again, we're back again. We got another tune that we'll play here in just a few more minutes before we let you go, John. I know you got another song there that was sent to me as well. We want to share with everybody out there that's a song that you had on the back burner for some time. But we'll get to that here in just a bit. Again,
I don't know if you could hear it on that end or not, but over here it was sounding like I was drunk. I don't know how it sounded. I guess I'll hear from people. Because, man, I don't know if it came out right over there, but over here it was slurring back.
Oh, it came out. Are you on Wi-Fi on your end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, well, but it's.
They're gonna think I'm drunk on it.
Right. He said, I got some comments here. Excuse me. From Frank Rockin Rodriguez. It says here, ask John about Jesse Vela. So
That's right, man. Jess, now that's a good thing he brought that up. Jesse and I, we were actually the kind of the creators of Silverado. We had a guy named Tony Silvestre, Eddie Gonzalez, Israel Dominguez, and Ray. I don't remember Ray's last name. He played the bass, but we were the actual original people from Silverado. And Jesse, we started that band back in the early 90s, maybe late 80s. And Jesse, unfortunately, he had an accident in Galveston. He drowned in Galveston. But Jesse was kind of like the glue that held everything together for us. He was basically the leader of the band when we had the early stages of we were called the Max at one time. And then we had we changed the name from La Lumbre because there was a band in Houston called Grupo Lumbre, so we changed the name, and so we were called the Max at that time. We were taking it to the Max, and so that died out. And Jesse and I were like, you know what, man, let's just keep it going, bro. Let's figure something out, man. We'll get it together. And we picked up Frankie, the guitar player, Braulio and Angel, and Ray. We just had, there was so many different musicians that we went through years. But Jesse was basically one of the co-founders. It was an unfortunate deal, man, because Jesse, like I said, he was the leader of the band, basically. He was the leader of the band. He took care of all the bookings and made sure that everything was taken care of. He was the manager and all that stuff. And I was just singing, I wasn't a general.
Yeah.
But it was an unfortunate deal, man. That hit a lot of us, man. Messed up because Jesse was a good dude. The old guy that would take your shirt off the back for you. That was Jesse. And it's a shame, It's a shame he didn't get to follow through with us, man. And get on this journey with us, man. It was cut a little short for him. But his son plays drums, and we stay in touch here and there. And his daughter comes out to our gigs. Um, so it's just one of those unfortunate deals, man. Hell, nobody
Yes.
wants that.
Hmm.
But
So
like I said, man, we've been lucky. We've been able to keep it going.
keep it going. Yeah. So basically, what's next? You know what I mean? For Silverado.
Like I said, man, we're going to continue to put the material together that we feel would be. My deal is I remember listening to some bands, and I thought to myself, man, there was only one or two good songs on the whole CD.
Hmm.
And it was like there was two badass songs, and then the rest were just kind of fillers. And my goal is to hopefully be able to put 10 or 12 badass songs together.
Hmm.
To every song. And I always go by the 1392 CD for David Lee, where every song, and Con el Tiempo,
Hmm.
every song on that CD was badass. And that's what I'm hoping to be able to accomplish. I'm hoping to be able to get some good songs on there. And my deal is, when I write songs, uh, I usually try to make sure it's kind of catchy, has a hook to it.
Yeah.
Lyrics are lyrics to me,
Right.
but the way I always try to write a song is with a good catchy melody and a good catchy hook to it, the
Hmm.
bridge. I try to write it that way. So my hope is that we can get out there and hopefully play out of town. I would love to be able to show people all around Houston, all around Texas, even out of Texas.
Hmm.
That Houston's got some great bands here, man.
Yeah.
And you always hear San Antonio, the capital of talent. It may be, but the deal is Houston has a lot of great talent.
Definitely a
And
lot. Hmm.
it's just it's an unfortunate deal. Like I said, most of the bands that I hear that come out of Houston are kind of conjunto based, and my hope is that I can get that Tejano sound out there again. That I love. That I fell in love with back when I was a kid, man.
Hmm.
And I still love the sound of that music. So my
Yeah.
hope is to be able to get out there and make a little bit of a dent out there, and hopefully be able to show the people, hey, man, we've got a little talent here, and hopefully they'll give us, lend us an ear and listen to us, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. That's awesome, man. And like I said, I mean, we appreciate your music here, John, as well, here at Houston's Tejano Hits and the Keith Leal Radio Show.
I
My
appreciate
boy,
it, man. Anybody that plays that, hell, that's the main thing you put it out there for, to be heard.
be heard.
So
Yes, definitely.
to know that people are playing it and people are requesting it, that's a great feeling. It's great.
Yep. And we got one more jam. We got one more song here before we let you go, man. I want to get it out there so that way everybody can take a listen to this song. Now, tell me a little bit about this song before we start playing this one right here. This was La Última Noche.
La Última Noche. This is actually a song that I heard Jimmy Gonzalez do. Jimmy did it as a cumbia,
Hmm.
and the melody is real nice. The lyrics are badass, but the melody, man, when I heard it, I was like, man, that's a badass song. Man, I think it would sound good as a ranchera.
Yeah.
And so I, messed with it, and I had a friend of mine, Rick Rios. He plays sax now for David Lee. He was playing the bass for Aviso at that time. But he would help me out, with my gigs. And if he wasn't busy with Aviso or another band, he'd help me out on my gigs. And I said, you know what, Rick? Let's get these guys together, man. And these were guys that would help me out on my gigs.
Hmm.
I had a great Rick Rios, Jay Rios played the guitar, Ramsey Cruz played the drums. I don't remember who the hell I had on keyboards, but I had a good keyboard player. Ruben Laredo was helping me on the accordion, awesome accordion player.
Hmm.
So I said, hey guys, listen to this song. Well, shit, man, we were in the studio. They picked it up quick, and we just put it together. We put
Yeah.
it together here in the studio, and it came out nice. The only thing that I've had a lot of people tell me, I've had some people tell me, I've gone to a couple of different internet stations. And one station in particular told me it sounds too electronic. It sounds like you got I don't know, kind of robotic sound to it. And I said, well, God dang, I don't hear that. And I said, but if that's what y'all hear, and I said, I guess.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they didn't play it, and I got discouraged and never did anything with it. I just didn't release it. After that, so I had it on the back burner for a while, and then I sent it to this guy named Eddie Olivo in California, and he was, bro, that's
Yeah.
song. And I said, well, shit, I'm gonna see if anybody will play it. And so.
Yeah.
That's what
And you sent it to me as well, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just some people just are in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know, depending on whatever internet radio station you took it to. Who cares? I mean, that's beyond me, but they can kiss my ass now or your ass or whatever. Not, I'm going to play it right here for everybody out there, regardless, so that way they can take a listen to it. You know what I mean? And we're going to get it on for everybody out there. So check this one out. So if you're listening again, share the video, and we want you to definitely tune into this song right here. Again, the name of this song that he's got right here is La Última Noche. All right, so take a listen to this song right now. It is John Lopez and Silverado.
El creador de las estrellas vino a verme y me preguntó que cuánto te quería yo a ti. Yo le dije que tú eras toda mi vida y que por favor se encargara de ti. El creador de las estrellas vino a verme y me preguntó que cuánto te quería yo a ti. Yo le dije que tú eras toda mi vida y que por favor se encargara de ti. Si los días que yo tengo están contados y en el libro de Dios está escrito que debo morir. Antes de irme yo te quiero dar las gracias por haberme enseñado a llorar y a reír. Quiéreme, aunque sea la última noche que me quiero estar solo. Cuando pierdo mi sentir, quiéreme, como si no hay mañana, de morirme en tus brazos, será el hombre más feliz. Quiéreme, aunque sea la última noche, quiéreme como te quiero a ti. Si los días que yo tengo están contados y en el libro de Dios está escrito que debo morir, antes de irme yo te quiero dar las gracias por haberme enseñado a llorar y a reír. Quiéreme, aunque sea la última noche, que no quiero estar solo. Cuando pierdo mi sentir, quiéreme, como si no hay mañana, y al morir en tus brazos será el hombre más feliz. Quiéreme, aunque sea la última noche, quiéreme como te quiero a ti.
All right, there you go. There you have it right there. La Última Noche. Okay, that is John Lopez and Silverado band right there. I mean, it's a great jam, dude. I mean, I don't get what they, you know, I know what you're talking about, but that's not what that's has all you do with you put that together. That's what you did. You know what I mean, with the voice and all that other stuff. You know, it's a good jam.
I appreciate that. Just like I said, man, you know, more than anything, if a song catches, you know, if it's catchy for me, then that's what I'm hoping that everybody else will kind of feel the same about it. You know, I'm fortunate, like I said, the guys don't give me a hard time. You know, I'm usually the one that tells the guys, do it like this, do it like that. And everybody does have their input. You know, it's not, like I said, I'm not an ogre and, you know, tell them, no, it's my way or the highway. No.
Yeah.
But, you know, luckily, like I said, man, I've got a talented crew. it helps me along. We all create. We all put our little input to it. And I got some talented musicians, man. So I'm very lucky that way, man.
Awesome, outstanding, man. And again, like you said, you're backed up with the great, the backing your musicians you have behind you are just outstanding. So y'all continue to do what you do. You know what I mean? Bring the music to the people. And a big shout out I want to send out to Bobby Castañeda, who's out over, I believe he's out in, I'm not sure where he's from. I'm not sure, but he has a great rola, John. He said he likes it. So good deal to him right there. It's also Gloria Rodriguez said great song. She loves it as well.
Hey, I think some good friends of mine.
Yeah, Bobby is actually from California. There you go.
Yeah.
So everybody who tuned in, Lily Rendon también, Frank Rodriguez is tuned in. He's on Isaac también de la Cerda. We appreciate him taking the time to actually put this together as well. Let's see this también. Rachel, John Silva también, Gloria. Yeah. Good deal. So, if you guys got any questions or anything before we wrap things up here, anything that you want John to answer, be more than happy. We'll take a few here, right here on the show. Before we let you go as well, John, if the opportunity ever came up, I'm sure you've probably already done some of that stuff on stage with, here or there with some groups or something like that. If the opportunity ever came up that you would like to collab with one of the artists in the industry today, who would it be, man?
Oh, shoot, I wish Amelia was still around. That was like I said, man, that boy to me was an ultimate showman.
Yes.
I love his voice. Probably, I like Jay, I like Ram. Probably any one of those two guys, man. And mainly because I like the style of the music. Like I said, and they sing in keys that I can sing in. Because, the older I've gotten, I try to stay in the lower keys. Ram, he has a tendency to do that. And I love Rams, especially the older music. Jay también, I like the older music.
The old stuff.
David Lee, I'd love to be able to get. I actually got on stage with David Lee, and it was unfortunate, man. This was back in the Island Club days, man. I asked him to play a song called Pobrecita, and Oscar turned around, and the next thing I know, they're playing a song called Pobrecito Mi Corazón. I'm like, you talk about panic struck, man. I was like, this song, I couldn't stop him, we were already going.
Yeah.
And, I didn't. It wasn't 100%. It was okay, but it wasn't badass as opposed to. I think I could have done the other song way better. But I love David Lee's music, man. I like that style, man. Those guys, the one right after the other, boom, 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 boom. I really like that. And, the energy they have behind the music.
Yes.
That's really what I like, and that's mainly what I like. The energetic style. I don't like the slower stuff. I like the lively, energetic style. So yeah. Jay, Ram, David Lee, call me. Right. Yeah, man, if anybody, it'd be one of the guys. And of course, but when it comes to country, hell, of course, anybody love to sing with George. But we do. We do George, and I can mimic his voice decently. John Pardee, I can mimic his voice decently. And I've actually, we're working on a country song that I wrote. So if I can just put some steel guitar behind that, man, I'll tell you what, Tracy Lawrence. I got Tracy Lawrence in mind when I wrote that song. I love Tracy Lawrence's music, and so we're kind of along them lines with the song. So once we get the way we want to do it down, I'm gonna put it on the CD, man. So
awesome.
Yeah, country. I love country, man. I just tell you, I do a lot of country in my shows.
Wonderful, definitely. Gloria says, Joe says hi, and when is the CD coming out?
Well, we don't really know yet. Like I said, man, we're still trying to get the material that we're going to put on there. So once we get the material down that we want to put on there, we're shooting towards the end of summer. So hopefully maybe August, maybe September. My birthday's in September, so if I can get it up by September, that'd be awesome. Be an awesome birthday gift right there, huh? Home birthday gift.
And a big shout out to Gilbert Ruiz, saludos from Chicago.
How you doing, guys?
Awesome. So we thank everybody who tuned in today. Share, please share. Again, if you're just joining us, you can go back and watch the broadcast as well. John Lopez from Silverado is here with me on the Keith Leal Radio Show live. Streaming on all platforms. Again, we couldn't thank you enough for being here today, John. Well, one more question for you though. I mean, do you have anything? I'm sure you might have some of them on top of your mind. I forget mine because I manage a lot of my stuff that I do here. But on your social media sites, do you have any of those handles that you can hand out, so that way if anybody wants to follow the group or you and whatnot, keep up with you.
John Lopez, Silverado. We have a page on there, and you just look me up on Facebook. I mean, I just go under John Lopez. But we do have a group page, John Lopez, Silverado. We've got guys that are, in there. We have clips of some of the shows that we've done, and we post on there also when we're going to play.
Awesome.
So if anybody wants to get there, and like I said, the next show that we have, where it's going to be a public show, like I told you, would be in Kima on the 25th of June, and that'll be a big show for us because I've been wanting to play the boardwalk. I've been wanting to play. They always have, it's always a good time that I've gone, to the other shows in the past when they have the Hano concert series.
Yes.
I go out there and I always think to myself, man, it'd be badass to play out here, man. So now we're getting the opportunity to play, so we're really looking forward to it. So, and I'd like to say hello to all my family that's out there listening to us, my relatives that are out there, all the guys from South Houston, all the fans that are out there. I really, really, really appreciate you guys listening in. And, when you hear that we're playing, come out there and support the band, and we'll catch up, on old times. And, we'll make some new friends. Every time we play, somebody new will come out there and check it out. And they always come up to us at the end of the day, that was awesome. And so it's great to hear that, especially with a bunch of old farts. We get up there and we're still able to get up there and have a good time and still be able to belt it out the way we do. It's a good feeling, man. It's a real good feeling.
Outstanding. All right, so they can definitely check you out. Again, he's going to be over at the Kima Boardwalk Summer Concert Series that's going to be happening out there this summer, so be on the lookout that along with Stevie D. So look for the dates. We do have it. We have it posted on our Facebook page as well, so you can go out there and look at it, and you can write the date down, save the date, go out there and check him out. He's going to be here in Houston, Texas, so make sure you guys get plans to go out there and check out that show. You can also stay tuned here to HoustonTejanoHits.com, the Keith Leal Radio Show. Tune in to all that, and we have all that information for you as it comes along. So, John, again, we appreciate you for taking the time to join me here today, and you're welcome back anytime, my brother, anytime.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, buddy.
All right, God bless, and we will talk to you soon.
Take care.